On this episode of the Infowars Newswith, an article details the domestic plan behind Jade Helm. ISIS terrorist threatens London, and nearly half of polled voters think the Fed will use Jade Helm to execute control over states. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. Okay, folks, this is the first article of the day here, and it is an article written by, Infowars.com. The title is called Master the Human Domain, the Domestic Plan Behind Jade Helm. The subtitle says, Pentagon's Goal of Information Domination Hidden in Plain Sight. And there's a video here, and here it says, Confirm Jade Helm is for the American people. A closer look in the upcoming Jade Helm military exercise, specifically its Master the Human Domain model, reveals a larger agenda regards to domestic policy. In current military terminology, the human domain or human domain analysis refers to the global understanding of everything associated with the people, breaking down information to four categories. Mastering the human domain results from obtaining total information awareness on a mass scale. Who you are, what you do, who you know, and context. Well, you can see there for explanatory. The importance of understanding the human domain has increased significantly over the past decade and a half. Writes the U.S. Geographical Intelligence Foundation. There has been a shift from contentional on nation states to smaller organized individuals. And the article goes on to say that we started out a layer group analysis. We focus on groups, ethnic, religious groups, and we start to map out and color different locations, said Colonel Adi De Leonardo. We start to characterize the location of color coding in a simple way, and we begin layering that top of the tribal aspects, and we start to see very distinct patterns. I mean, as Alex Jones has said, we're in a lot of trouble, and basically Alex Jones may have figured out how they're going to pull this stunt off, but I'll cover that in the next article. The fact remains here that basically that they are trying to basically put us in categories and try to figure out which category we fit in and divide and conquer so we can be taken to the re-education camps and be, tortured. And killed and basically have our rights taken from us to go under martial law while they basically prepare for gun confiscation and take on the American people. But enough about that. An article written by Paul W. Watson is titled ISIS Terrorists Threatened. Hashtag London Attack. Chilling tweets featuring images of explosives, threats to target government buildings. The jihadists identifies themselves as a terror group ISIS are brazenly tweeting about plans to attack yet another major Western city under the Twitter hashtag London Attack. Images and threats posted to the social network include paragraphs of guns and suicide belts with one user named Abu Amani Al-Khani warning, Bazalam, we are coming. Hashtag London Attack. And just learned how to make suicide best. I mean, you can just read. This is nothing but Twitter accounts and this and that and the other. I mean, we fund ISIS. Rebanded after the American public woke up. The fact that we're arming Al Qaeda. They had to be renamed to tell the public to go back to sleep. I mean, we're funding them. That's all I can say. We're funding the terrorists. I mean, we gave them a haven in Syria so they can move to Iraq, so they can basically terrorize the entire population. And it dovetails into another article, which basically was an actual video, and you can go actually watch it. But all thoughts aside, the accounts making these threats have been active for hours, although Twitter has not yet shut them down in the time of press. I mean, Facebook doesn't take their stuff down, Twitter doesn't take their stuff down, but when it comes to conservative groups like Alex Jones, Judge Report, and the rest of these, and anybody else, they take theirs down. This is political correctness. Not to mention, we are funding ISIS. Our government funds ISIS. I mean, basically, and not to mention, I've also heard that ISIS is in all 50 states. Well, 49 states, but that point aside, I mean, they're gonna let them attack, and I'm telling you right now. So basically, I mean, they are going to let them attack, and basically, they're going to lose all our rights, and they're going to take all of our guns. But enough about that. This is the last article of the day here. The article is written by Kirk Nemo, and the title is called Nearly Half of Polls Voters Think Feds Will Use Jade Helm to Exercise Control Over States. Establishment propaganda downplays dangers to states' rights. And the article says here that with Jade Helm exercise 2 months away, a poll conducted by Rasmussen reports that 45% of voters believe that the government will use the massive training operation to impose greater control over some states. 21% believe that the activity is an infringement on states' rights, which it probably is, and 52% are not worried about the exercise and do not believe that they are utterly motivated behind them. The corporate media thinks otherwise. And, oops, sorry about that. Other media thinks otherwise, and there's a video here too, but I'm gonna play that video soon. This article says that basically, rather than focusing on the acknowledgement, the well-documented concerns expressed by the Americans across the political spectrum, or the reason why Americans are so suspicious of their federal government, the establishment press would rather recite seemingly outrageous theories and demonizing everyone who has refluctuated trust officials' pronunciations. The irony is just real journalists are supposed to question such pronunciations. Basically, folks, here's the video I'm going to play here. It's Alex Jones' prediction. Trust me, if he's right, we're all doomed.
And you look at all that and all the preparations and the confidence of these people. We come out against Jade Helm. They roll the military out. They have provocateurs attack the military. And I'm wargaming here. I'm not saying this is news. I'm saying I've really soul-searched. I've thought about this. I've prayed about it. And then I realized just about an hour ago, and then again just a few minutes ago, that the whole battle plan pretty much has clicked in as my prime projection. Doesn't mean it's what's going to happen, but folks know that usually it is what happens when I break down these analyses, because I just live this stuff. They may attack troops during Jade Helm, because they keep saying, isn't this dangerous to have the military out now and these people have lied about them? And I kept saying years ago, they would then attack military during drills, blame us for it, and then start the Civil War that way. and then they'll use the giant drill to bootleg putting in their mercenaries or foreign forces who will launch the attack with compartmentalization, and then it's blamed on us, and that's how they start the Civil War. And then they've got me as the main progenitor of the whole Jade Helm criticism, and then they can criticize Governor Abbott, Ted Cruz, Louis Gohmert, and others and tie them to it and claim that we hype people up to carry out the terror attack against Jade Helm. I've got them. That's their plan. I've got their ass. That's it, people. I'm telling you right now, that's their plan. I have war gamed this in my brain. I've prayed. That is their plan. We've got them. That's it. That's why they're so freaked out on these shows, why they're acting like they're on the main bridge, the main attack. I mean, it's like it's the Battle of Midway to them. They are just shaking because this is it. I can see it in their eyes. They're acting crazy. They're acting jumpy. They're moving, folks. They're moving. They're moving. And I don't know why I didn't see it sooner. Oh, my God. They're about to drop the hammer. We've now got it.
You see, folks? Right there. You just heard Al Joe just say it. They're going to do that. And then put the whole place on lockdown and come after everyone. I mean, it didn't seem to connect to me when I listened to him Sunday. But when I watched the video, was it Monday or Tuesday? Because today's Wednesday, of course. I had chills. That's what they're going to do. That's their plan. That is it. They're moving. They're moving. They're moving. Well, that's all the articles I have for you today. If you'd like to read more about these articles, please go to Infowars.com and PrisonLife.com. There you can find hundreds of articles just like this I found for you today. This is Infowars News. I'm Info Gundam, live on Film Radio number 3. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Bye-bye.